Parker, I have one simple question for you, and I really want to take our time on this one because I feel like we talk about this team constantly on this show, and we will continue to. Are the Orioles cooked?
You really want to know how I feel about this? Because I think they're fucked, man. This season, at least, I think the Orioles are bad.
All right, you start. Tell me why what are the biggest things that make you think they're absolutely cooked and that you can count them out here in 25.
When I look at their team offensive rankings, they are 21st in OPS, 27th in on-base percentage, 26th in average, 23rd in runs, 10th in homers. Got to do something right. And 27th in stolen bases. And then you look at their starting pitching rankings, 28th in ERA, 27th in WHIP, 14th in walks per nine, 30th in K per nine, 29th in hits per nine, and 30th in home runs per nine. And then it's got to get better somewhere, right? The relievers got to be doing something. Nope, relievers aren't doing shit. 27th in ERA, 28th in WHIP, 22nd in walks, 13th per K per nine, 28th home runs per nine, and 28th in hits per nine. So nothing is going well for the Orioles right now. This lineup is not doing the things we thought this lineup would do. And who knows? Maybe that's because you're immediately out of games, and who the hell wants to play in a game that you're already out of? So like that could do something there as far as the way that everybody's, interacting with the game on a daily basis. But this is if you just read these names off of the roster resource page: Cedric Mullins, Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, Ryan O'Hearn, Ryan Mountcastle, Jackson Holliday, Kobe Mayo. These are guys who are like, they've got to have a top 10 offense in baseball, minimum top 10 offense in baseball. They don't. It is really bad in Baltimore right now. Nothing is going the way that they wanted it to. And I just don't see a way out because that pitching's never getting fixed.
I don't even know where to start with this. You and I have been, and it's not just you and I, it's literally the most obvious thing in the baseball world. It has been the most obvious thing in the baseball world for the last 3 years. Pitching. I don't know how many times people can say it. I don't know if Mike Elias is just sitting in this offensive echo chamber, but he needs to wake up and smell the coffee. This has been an ongoing thing with this team. He's been hoarding his prospects, not building his pitching, and now we're at a point where he's gonna have a bit of an Orioles existential crisis here, because this year they are not going to make the playoffs potentially. Everyone's going to say, well, Mike, we told you, last year, the year before that, you should have gotten pitching and you didn't. And this is what happened. And let me ask you this, Parker. What do you think their playoff odds are right now? If you had to guess.
I'm not going to cheat. 9%.
Really close. 7.8% to make the playoffs, 1.8% to win this division. That is absolutely ridiculous for a team that was supposed to take this division by storm not even 2 years ago. So, I mean, I guess going back to the original question, right? Are the Orioles cooked? I think so. I think that's pretty fair. The reason being is because I think their offense, don't get me wrong, their offense could absolutely catch fire. No doubt about it. I think that's still in the cards. I do believe in half of this offense. I don't believe in a Kobe Mayo that, by the way, currently has a negative 61 WRC plus. Fun fact. Ridiculous.
That's insane.
I know. That is insane. You have to be pretty bad to have a negative 61 WRC plus. But let's put the offense aside because let's assume they get hot, which I think they could have a couple weeks here and there they do that. When you look at a team's pitching staff, the question for a good playoff caliber team is always, do they have enough to get through 162 and make a deep playoff run? Guys, they don't have enough to get through 62, let alone 162. Okay? This is a totally different pitching situation where they go out yesterday. And guys, Parker, I laughed so hard today when you texted me and said, "Oh, the Orioles picked up Luis Castillo," because my head went to, "Oh shit, great, they got a pitcher, Luis Castillo." And so I looked it up and saw it was Luis F. Castillo. So there's an F on that
Yeah.
transaction and
Yeah.
that trade
Luis
because the
fucking
Orioles
Castillo,
effed it
man. They got
again.
Luis fucking Castillo.
Yet again, Orioles, you effed it up, and you got Luis F. Castillo and the wrong Castillo. Like, guys, what are we doing? What are we doing?
No, it's bad, man. I don't want to, kill the whole, we're already at 51 minutes. And you know what? Screw it. This is our podcast. We can go as long as we want. I'm so super down. But I'm looking at like projected starters. I've never been more depressed in my life. Dean Kramer, Tomoyuki Sagano, Kyle Gibson, Zach Eflin comes back on the 11th, most likely.
Yeah.
Hey, Zach Eflin.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, now we go, boys. Like, no, that's not what's gonna happen. This team is fucked. This team is fucked in every way. And you know what sucks? Go to roster resource and look at their 2025 top prospects. We got Kobe Mayo on there, who we've already seen is really struggling at the big league level. So, like, okay, I'm not saying he's a bust, but like maybe not what we thought he was going to be. Hopefully he figures it out. Hopefully he's an all-star. I love the guy. Then we got Samuel Basayo. Basayo. Am I saying that right? Samuel Basayo.
Yes.
Yep. He's the number one prospect in the organization. Cool. Good for them. After that, start to get thinner. We start to get thinner, and we've got guys in high A. Brandon Young is in triple A, like double A guy, high A guy. Like it's all it's all at the big league level now. All of this prospect capital we've been talking about for the last 5 years is at the big league level or right below it. What are we doing with it? And right now, the answer to that is nothing.
Nothing. I mean, they do have Griff O'Farrell at high A, and Griff O'Farrell, I'm pretty sure, went to Hogwarts. But what I will say is, here's another.
Vance Honeycutt might have gone to fucking Hogwarts too.
He definitely sounds like a Ravenclaw. Definitely,
yeah, for sure. Dude's got a 10 out of 10 on his charms paperwork. There you go. My wife's a Ravenclaw too.
Hey, we know who we are, right? So what another layer to what you're saying though is like it's not only that they now have graduated all of these prospects, but it's that to rebuild that prospect pool and specifically to rebuild pitching is the hardest thing to do in this sport. Like I'm confident that now more than ever you can put a team together, you can hit on some trades, you can hit on some free agents, hit on some hitters that you can fast track to the majors. You can't do that with pitchers. At least not with most of them. Paul Skeens, guys, is the exception. Like you can't do that. So this is where, honestly, and I'm sorry, Orioles fans, I don't want to scare anybody, but this potentially 50% of this could go, they're going to rebound, they're going to invest money, and they're going to be like, screw this. Line in the sand, we're investing, we're going to turn this around. But if they choose not to do that, you're looking at another rebuild sooner than later, which is terrifying to think about.
What is stopping you from just fucking trading Samuel Basayo? Like the number 5 prospect in baseball, trade him. You could get 2 number 4 starting pitchers for that guy. Maybe, a couple guys that you could just plug in and get outs, man. Because I don't know. I just don't know. Like, what do you do? I feel like you have to trade Samuel Basayo to the Marlins for Sandy Alcantara.
Yes.
I feel like that's got to be the move. And if you're the Marlins and you're not interested in him, you're kind of fucked if you're the Orioles. Because there's not really many guys on the starting pitching trade market right now. The Red Sox took care of that pretty handily. And like, I don't know, you should have sprung earlier. This team should have gotten Garrett Crochet, like you said. Then they should have acquired Sandy Alcantara during this season or even during last offseason, and then extended both of them. And now it's like, wow, we have 2 true aces at the top of our rotation, and you can win. If you win 3 out of 5 games in your rotation, you're doing pretty good in Major League Baseball. So you win the Crochet start, the Alcantara start, and then figure one out of the rest of the 3. Maybe Grayson Rodriguez figures out how to throw a baseball again. It's like, okay, cool. Now we're doing something
Yeah.
here. They missed on both of those guys. Well, haven't missed on Alcantara, I guess, yet, but like Samuel Basallo is a catcher first baseman, and right now your big league roster has Adley Rushman and Ryan Mountcastle on it. So like, what's the plan?
I, I don't know, but I'll tell you what, the Orioles are going to be one of the more fascinating things to follow in the next 2 years because it's going to go one of two directions, and I just don't know. I think the silver lining for Orioles fans, if there was one, is that I still hold the belief, like I said earlier, that the offense really has potential.
Mm-hmm.
There have been years in baseball where whole entire offenses have had down years, and whole entire offenses have had up years, and offensive players have had up years, and that just happens. So I would like to equate it to that they're just all in a rut right now together, which kind of happens in this sport. Um, if they could go out and get a couple pitchers in free agency, really pour money into their pitching side, both in the relief and the starters,
And you don't need to
I
get them
think they
for this
can.
year. You can get not project
No,
pieces, but you can get prospects. You're still young enough. You can do that. What's concerning
yes,
is that none of it's happened so far. And it's so
no,
hard to take a basement
no.
team and turn them into a competitive team overnight when so much of your talent is young. It's an advantage you have, but it's also really scary, especially for your fan base who expected you to start super investing in this team when it came under new ownership. And Michael Elias just has not done that so far.
I'm gonna visualize it. I want people to understand how hard this is. I'm literally gonna visualize this. Write it
Okay.
down so people understand. All right, this is where the Orioles were 6 years ago. Okay, this is where they are now. That's a big jump. Okay,
Yeah.
now here's the issue. The issue is they need to go a little bit higher to be a World Series team.
Mm-hmm.
Why the hell would you not just go the extra little bit with increasing payroll by 50 million? Like,
Nope.
do you really want to just cancel out all the shit you've done and take that big leap? You're closer to where you wanted to be than you ever were. Just pay the damn money.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
infuriating. If I was an Orioles fan, I would be absolutely infuriated.